Today we've got setups for SUI, JASMY, Ethereum and Link, plus stick around until the end as I've also got a Neo short setup I think you might like. But let's jump in. Hi everyone, I'm Paul with ArcisFX. As usual, we've got 5 altcoin setups for you this week, jumping straight in with SUI, SUI, USDT 4-hour chart. Now the market has been a little bit all over the place the last few days, well the last few weeks really, but especially after the CPI data which came in yesterday, which was pretty bullish for crypto, coming in at 2.7%. And even though we need to wait for the dust to settle, and of course we're approaching the holiday season, we could be in for some improved altcoin trading over the next few weeks and into January on the back of that. And SUI is providing us with a pretty good opportunity if Bitcoin plays along. So we've got this falling wedge on the back of a double bottom. This is the October crash, just for reference, and we have pretty much mainstream support around this area, where this is essentially the kind of the consolidation area, and this is where the bullish fun tends to happen above this line, and we're now at that support. So essentially what we're waiting for now is we need confirmation of an upwards move, and that's only going to happen once we get a breakout of this falling wedge. Now the beauty of this falling wedge is we have the 200 MA on the 4-hour and the 50 MA all very flush with this upper diagonal trend line, meaning if the price action gets a break above this from now, we don't just get to break out of this falling wedge and flip this upper diagonal trend line from resistance to support, we also get to do the same with these moving averages. And if you'll notice, the moving averages have been suppressing the price action since October, but you can see what happens when we get a break. So that's essentially what we're looking to happen for here. So really nice confluence for a potential break here. But the important thing is when the market is hesitant as it is and Bitcoin is still trying to find its feet, come on Bitcoin, we need to wait for bullish confirmation. So some of you will be thinking, well, I can come in here at support at around 1.26 to 1.25. And I'll say you could, but that would be very risky. As you can see, we've already had a break to the downside against probabilities of this falling wedge. So we really do need to wait for an upside break to get that bullish confirmation, which will bring more buyers into the market. So hopefully we'll see something like this over the next few days, and depending on how strong the breakout is will depend on which level you look to come in on. So we've got a couple of different levels. You'll see we've got this one here at around 1.46, which is represented by this dashed line, and then we have another one here at the top of the lower support range. So once we get a break, you can then assess the market, see how bullish Bitcoin is, see how strong this break was. As an example, if the break comes out from here and goes into this range, then this play would start looking more palatable. Whereas if we just get a kind of a break like this, maybe just surpassing a few of the swing highs, then we're probably going to be looking for a retest back down into this area. So it's all very contextual, but nonetheless, 2 potential plays for SUI, and we're just waiting very simply for a breakout of this falling wedge. Next up, we've got JASMY USDT 1-hour chart. And if we just zoom out to just give you the context of what we're looking at here. So we are pretty much low down. We're in a very, very strong downtrend with JASMY, and this is the October crash just for reference. But of course, the reason why we're looking at this, because it looks like it could be trying to find its feet and move up from here. Now, this of course is very Bitcoin dependent, but we have broken out, but we are still in a downtrend. So we need to find some additional confirmation. So we do have a diagonal line of sorts here, which we can look at. So we can put that here maybe, and there we go. So you could say to yourself, okay, right, so this is looking a little bit hesitant at the moment. We are breaking out of this channel, but it's a little bit of a janky channel, so it doesn't carry that much significance. And we do have the 200 MA floating above on the 1-hour. Now, that's not too important, really, because it's just the 200 MA on the 1-hour chart. But nonetheless, we do need to have a little bit of bullish confirmation before we come in. And you could argue that there is a bit of a descending channel here as well. So you could very easily switch this to a short play if we break lower from here, and this lower area is around 0.00576 for reference. So you may see the price action do this over the next few days, but then if we do manage to maintain this support line, as I said, which is around 0.00576, then if we get a break from there, then we can look again to come in on the flip side, really straightforward kind of bullish confirmation plays, and then looking to enter on the retest. And of course, right now it would seem that this area here at around 576 is probably the best play at the moment, given that we've got a bit of a bearish slant for JASMY at the moment. But if Bitcoin does start making moves, and on the back of the CPI data, we could see a little bit of bullish fervor for the altcoin market. But again, if you do see a ridiculously strong break up to here, you then may want to reevaluate your position and maybe start to look at this potential play, where you'll essentially be looking to come in a little bit higher than support at around 0.00592, something like that. So it's very contextual. But I think what we'll see from JASMY is probably a continued consolidation in this area, and then at some point when Bitcoin makes a move, potentially we'll have a move upwards, and then we're just looking for an entrance on the flip side. But the reason why you want to wait for that confirmation is because, again, this is a descending triangle, which means it's a bearish pattern, and seeing as we've already started to lose support a little bit, right, you have to presume we're going to have some downside based on this, which of course you could short if that happens. But the reason why I'm highlighting that, of course, is because don't just enter in this presuming we're going to go up from here, right? You have to presume we're going down until until, as I said, we get a break out from the pattern, and then you can look at the flip side to come in with some more buyers. But that's JASMY. But just a reminder, these setups are hand-picked coins and tokens with real trading potential based on technical analysis and probabilities, available on both centralized and decentralized exchanges. The altcoin market follows Bitcoin's direction, of course, so don't miss context. Make sure you subscribe to catch our latest Bitcoin update video for the full picture before you trade. We also have a new members-only Crypto Pulse series with Friday's release each week dedicated to checking in with Bitcoin and its most recent price action, which will hopefully act as a nice companion piece to this video. So be sure to check that out each week if you're not already a member. Moving on now to Crypto Queen Ethereum BTC Daily. So this is the BTC pair. Now, talking about this in the private group, so this is Ethereum USDT Daily, so this is the dollar pair. Now, essentially, when you're trading Ethereum with the dollar pair, if Bitcoin heads lower, it's going to suffer a little bit more, and you'll notice how that, because Bitcoin will essentially pull it down. Now, you'll notice that Ethereum here is struggling to maintain this support to a degree. You look at the 6-hour chart, we're struggling to keep the price action outside of this channel, and again, we're dipping a little bit below support here. No big deal, but if you switch to the Ethereum versus BTC chart, a little bit more strong, a little bit more confident at support, where we're sitting comfortably above it, maintaining this trend with this potential higher low on the back of a higher high. So if you're thinking of trading Ethereum and Bitcoin continues to be a little bit bearish, or rather not giving us any bullish signals, then Ethereum versus BTC is the pair to trade. And this was a previous setup which we've been talking about, where we had a nice breakout, a little tap of the channel on the flip side, and then we almost came up and hit our TP almost perfectly. But now we are coming in for a bearish retest of the pattern and support on the flip side. So hopefully we'll have some more buyers coming in here, and then we can make a move back up to here. So the same setup and the same play, but I would recommend trading Ethereum versus Bitcoin at the moment as opposed to Ethereum versus USDT, as if Bitcoin does continue to head lower, you're going to have a little bit of a buffer as a result, because obviously if Bitcoin's heading down and Ethereum stays steady, then of course this is going to go up as a result. So again, switching to these classic BTC pairs can help offset some of the risk of trading some of the more modern tether pairs in light of slightly bearish price action from Bitcoin. But that's Ethereum.
Hi there, I'm James. I'm the founder of ArcisFX. I'd like to personally invite you to join our 24/7 trading group. This is built for traders who want an edge. Inside, you'll get access to live calls on Forex, commodities, crypto, energies, and metals, along with exclusive daily analysis designed to unlock your trading potential. And this in both traditional and now in digital markets. I'm talking Bitcoin, crypto, altcoins, and tethered currencies. You'll gain early access to insider news, real-time updates, real-time support, and premium educational content. If you want to sharpen your skills and boost your success rate, then join me and Paul in this community. This is a fast-growing community of traders who are now writing their own success stories. So don't wait. Join up now. Your edge starts right here.
Next up, we've got Link. We had this double bottom, and then we've broken out of this downtrend which we're in to put in a higher high. But we've had a little bit of a dip here because of some concerns in the market leading up to the CPI data yesterday, or rather on Thursday. But we do have nice confluence with this descending channel, falling wedge, potentially with the 200 MA and the 50 acting also as resistance, nice and flush with this upper diagonal trend line. So what we're looking for now is a break to the upside, and then again looking to come in for the SR flip, and then that would be this play. But again, you want to wait for a break, otherwise we could be heading down to here to support, because of course there is a significant support area below the price action as well. But if Bitcoin goes, this could move from where it is. Now, we've also got this falling wedge on the RSI and this range break on the stock RSI. Now, I had this on my chart because it gives me a signal potentially of what's about to happen to the price action. So we have had a falling wedge breakout on the RSI, which suggests the same is going to happen for the falling wedge on the actual chart itself. So a little bit more bullish today than it was yesterday when I was planning this chart for you all. We want to see that break above the 200 MA, the 50, and out of this pattern, then look to come back in here. And again, if the market is still a bit hesitant, you could potentially maybe just scale in here and then maybe look to take another position here as well. So there's quite a few options, but eagle-eyed viewers will notice there is a short play here as well. If you do get rid of this falling wedge like this, you'll see we are putting in a bearish retest of this upper bullish sort of range, which means we could be potentially coming back down to here. And this is, I believe, a slight lower low compared to this one. So if it takes your fancy, you could short short it from here to here. Just a very short-term range play of about 13%, put a little bit of leverage on there and you've got something, right? But again, the problem is we do have the confirmation break on the falling wedge on the RSI and the range break on the stock. So we're getting a bit of confusing signals here. So trade it any way you see fit. But for me, even though there is a short play here, which may very well play out if Bitcoin descends a little bit lower towards 81K, because it's just a small range, the second Bitcoin starts giving us some bullish signals, we're just going to reverse from here, which is going to invalidate the short play. So you really want to have some more bearish signals from Bitcoin beforehand. But here's the thing, if you just extend this falling wedge like this, you can still have your confirmation even all the way back down here. So even if the price action does, and I very much doubt it'll do this, but if the price action does just kind of just do this, then you can again play the breakout of this lower range, and instead you can just move this down to here and enter that way. So there's a good few options for Link, and just to clarify, this is $10.8 here, and this is $12.5 essentially here. And finally, as promised, we have NEO USDT 6-hour chart, which is a potential short play. Now, this was originally a long play. As you can see, we had a potential double bottom, and the idea was, of course, that we wait for a break of the neckline and then we trade this range. Now, of course, no one should have entered this trade because we didn't get the confirmed neckline break, and the premise has since invalidated as a result. But nonetheless, no one should have entered it because we didn't get that break of the neckline anyway, which is why it's important to have bullish confirmation with a lot of these setups, because there's no point in just seeing a setup like NEO posted for a long play and then just entering it anywhere in here, because we need to have that bullish confirmation to avoid any potential downside, which is happening at the moment. So NEO has now flipped to a short trade. Now, of course, because again of that CPI data which we had yesterday out of the United States, which was pretty bullish in terms of risk assets, I would advise caution here with NEO. So I won't be entering a short here at around $3.5. I will be waiting for a move back up to essentially $3.95 or so, and then look to short from there as indicated, taking profits down here at around $2.35. Now, why do we need to do that? Just like because we needed to wait for a confirmation for the long play here of the neckline break, we want to be in a manageable position in case the market flips again back to bullish. And therefore, if we enter here right now for a short like this, right, and then the market reverses, you're going to be left hanging, right? It's not going to come back down and give you your exit. But if you wait for it to come up to here to bearishly retest 3.95, and obviously if the market continues to be bearish, this short setup is going to play out. But if you do enter here and the market flips in the other direction, you're almost certainly going to get that bullish retest on the flip side, which will give you a no loss exit to your position. So entries in crypto are just as important as where you put your stop loss or your risk reward ratio. So you're looking for an entrance for a short play around 3.944, and you'll be taking profits ideally around 2.358. But again, make sure you're entering here to ensure that if the market does flip, you've got options to manage your trade and flip it to a different position. But that's NEO. But for more winning setups like this, please consider subscribing, and also hit that like button and let us know in the comments what altcoins you're thinking of trading. Which one of these setups do you like the most? We also have a private group you can join that posts charts like these throughout the week. But that's it for now. You can catch James on Sunday for his weekly epic stocks and commodities live stream, and you can also check out my crypto focus stream from yesterday. Definitely worth a watch, as we really got into the CPI data and what we can expect from Bitcoin and crypto over the next few weeks and months. And of course, I'll be back on Tuesday with Bitcoin update in the lead into Christmas. Until then.